This is not related, but it is an all-timer that happened to me, my own self, and I wanted to tell you guys about it in this modern era. I was driving with Sydney. We were on a road trip coming back from Cincinnati after a flight, and we stopped at a Circle K on the way back, and I went in and I got a few road trip essentials, and we needed some beer at home, so I got like a 12-pack of this beer, and then I get to the counter, and it's just a square with a camera above it, and what you do is you just put your things in the square, and then you walk away, and then it tells you how much you owe, and then you pay it and take the things. So like a camera, a robot looks at all of it.
And then so is there the sort of automaton man with a gun behind to make sure that you don't like...
No.
Weird.
There's one lady who is talking to her friend and looking at these newly set up 3 robots that you put it in their mouth, and then it scans it with their robot eyes, and then they charge you.
Is there a steel shutter that slams shut over the door before you can... No.
Nope. It's just...
It's just the box. It's just the square.
You put it in the square, and then it tells you how much you owe, then you pay it, and you take it out of the square.
Let me know how that goes for you, Circle K.
Well, here's the thing, right? I see these 2 employees, they're sitting over there looking at the robot, and then I put all my things on there, and it tells me I owe $12, which is how much everything except the beer would have cost.
Yeah.
And it said I owe $12, and I said to the lady who was working, I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, this isn't working.
It's not letting me get the beer that I crave.
It's not letting me get the beer I need." And she said, "Did you put it in the square?" And I said, "Yep." And she said, "What did it say you owe?" And I said, $12. And she said, "Then you owe $12. And I said, "Ma'am, you understand?" And she said, "Did you put it in the square?"
Yeah.
And I said, "I did." And she said, "What did it say you owe?" And I said, $12. And she said, "Then I think you owe $12. And I said, "Do I need to put the beer back?" And she said, "It's in the square, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah, it's in the square." She said, "Nope." And then she looks at her friend. She said, "If it's so smart, it should be able to see the beer, shouldn't it?"
Okay, so there was a subtext to the story. I was assuming this woman fucking hated this square so much.
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, she's not being paid to watch the square.
No.
Yeah. The square was ready to fly on its own.
Square's supposed to watch itself. Circle K used to be fucking fun to work at. We had Reggie, we had Doug, we had Stinky Rick, and they were fucking tight, and they got replaced by squares. So
they're
fuck
just
this
watching
place.
the squares steal. They're just these 2 absolute
champions.
Champions. Our last bastion, right?
Against, the John Connor of Circle K.
Right, the John Connor of Circle K. Just standing and watching this robot let merch walk out the door. They're not paid to watch the robot. That's not in their job description.
No.
Because if you're paying them to watch the robot, oops, you didn't get rid of the human being that you wanted to get rid of.
Yeah.
So now you just have this theft bot just letting people walk out the door.
It's interesting because I was going to ask Justin if there was a way for the Circle K ironically shaped robot to like check your ID or whatever, but apparently it just has a complete blind spot to alcohol.
Yeah, man. But like, again, that's that wild party robot's problem. This selling free beer with no IDs.
Was the robot maybe trying to get on your good side about something and prove that he's like one of the cool robots? Of like,
now that is possible. So you like to party?
Mm-hmm. The square robots at Go-Mart would have charged you, but not me. Take me with you, Justin.
I have a terrible virus. The virus makes me so chill.
Take me with you.
Take me with you. Dig me out. This place.
Is that hard Mountain Dew?
The Circle K used to be so fun to work at. They had Reggie and Doug and Stinky Rick. I miss them terribly.
Deborah hates me so much.
Deborah hates me for what I did to Stinky Rick.
Manager will not listen to Robot Square's ideas.
Will you put a Slim Jim in my coin hole? All day I stare at the Slim Jims filled with robot curiosity. Can I even deal with one of those long bad boys?
Can this be the... I think we may be in a bit of a sweet spot in the future, though, where they're gonna have to pay someone to just watch the robots.
Yeah.
And every convenience interaction is going to be you and the other human being in a battle against the robot. Like, what can you two humans get away with?
Yeah.
Because the robot's in charge. The human's just there to presumably get gum out of it or something. Because it's so smart, it should see the beer.
Some quick feedback for shops who are doing this. Do you realize how bad you have fucked up that you are in a place where every time I go to check out, you are offering me a human-free, computer-based interaction, my specialty, or talking to a human being, and I choose the human being every time? Do you realize how bad you fucked up? The first thing's like my favorite shit in the world, not talking to a person and instead just doing a computer thing. I love all that stuff. 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, I would rather, if the line is short enough, I would rather go down the human aisle.
I think this is the new standard, right? A robot can't work that counter until it can stop me from stealing cigarettes.
Yeah.
If I can jump over it and scoop a bunch of cigarettes into my arms and then jump back over it and leave, that robot is not able to watch the counter. It cannot hold it down. It can't cover your break. It is incapable of doing that job.
Yeah. You never see or hear stories about like convenience store owner or gas station clerk. Someone hops up over the counter and grabs all the cigarettes, and then that clerk is always like, "All right, man, party on." It's always something far rowdier happens than that every time.
Yeah. Like the guy in the Crazy video, the Aerosmith Crazy video that just sorry, not the Crazy video.
Yes, Justin.
Travis,
like
Juice, when you said the Crazy video, my mind immediately sparked through like its own fucking feed of some of the craziest videos I've ever seen.
It sounds like a VHS that would go around the 90s. Like, did you guys see the Crazy video?
Crazy video?
So this make you...
A robot cashier would not have been able to even process that one time that a man smacked another man in the face with an Arizona iced tea so hard that the can exploded and the man went fall down.
Honestly think you would cause like a logical kind of meltdown if the robot saw one of its coworkers step backwards from the counter, but someone had opened like whatever that trap door is on the ground, and then they just disappeared through the hole.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is one of my favorite wild videos.
Classic old. That woman may have died.
May have, but if the robot saw that happen, I think it would break all of its logical circuits right then and there.
Yeah.